Hello. I was planning on showing you all of the new PT exercises I was doing because this is the beginning of week 5. This is over 1 month, right? July 9th, and now it's the 13th, August. Because they've kind of gone from being very passive things like scapula down and back to things more like there's like range of motion tests, and we're doing like the scapula pullbacks, but we're actually doing it with some weight. We're doing stuff where I'm on my front and like extending my arms and like pulling them back. And I felt really good in my last PT appointment. Not only is the continued release of the psoas been like pretty great, but it was just kind of exciting because when you are doing PT exercises that like are a little bit more active, it's just easier to associate that with progress. And then I got home. Keep in mind that I have to metro into PT. So I live under a mile from my metro stop. And before, like, I would go on long walks, like an hour, 3, 4 miles, just, walking fast. And now I walk like, let's just say, 3/4 of a mile to the metro. And then I do the metro. And then I walk, it's probably just like a half a mile. But then like back and forth. And for instance, last time I got there a little bit early, so I decided to just kind of walk up to my old hood in DuPont Circle and kind of walk back. And then I did all these exercises. And then when I got home, I was just dead. Like, I was in so much pain. I had a headache. I was exhausted, like jet lag. That's what it felt like. And I think that's been the number one most disappointing thing over the past couple of days, is that I'm into this new phase. And even though I have feelings of general like, yeah, I can do this stuff, I am exhausted. I'm really, really tired. I get sleepy really easily. I've been getting better sleep, which is good. Kind of weird thing that happened. I can't see the difference really, but this was also the first appointment where they actually physically addressed the front of my neck where the scalenes used to be. And so she was doing a bit of, and this is all following Dr. Lum's curriculum. So it's like, neck mobilization. What is this? I'm thinking dorsal, that's not the right word. Posterior scalene mobilization. And she's mobilizing my spine, which feels creepy at first and wonderful at the end. But she went when she touched my neck, and she was like, Emily, your neck feels hollow right here. And I'm like, oh, there's an image I never needed. Because I think now that everything is kind of like come back down to size, and it took a while, considering the profound and kind of violent nature of the procedure, I'm not surprised. I mean, granted, I had all this like fluid in my chest, right? That was like the first 3 weeks was battling that. But also I just had like a lot of drainage, a lot of puffery. And I think now that everything is kind of like settling back down to where it should be, I have pain, and right now mostly my pain is actually here. I don't know if it's SCM necessarily. I don't know exactly what it is. It doesn't respond to anything except lying down in heat, which makes me think it's more like it's tired and exhausted than like an acute thing, but whatever. But I think that this whole area is now kind of going like, hold on, what happened? What happened in here? So it just feels there's a lot of discomfort. It feels uncomfortable. And I am getting pain where my scalenes used to be. I don't know if that's phantom pain or if it's the underlying thing. I'm getting sometimes a stabbing pain where I think that first rib used to be, and I'm like, is that like the wrist? Because there's like a little nub of old bone there. Like, is that poking something? Is that phantom pain? Is it nerves regrow? I have no idea what it is. And neither does Emily. My PT is also Emily. I've got my 1 month, I've got my almost 2 month post-op coming up at the end of this month. So I will ask. And what I'm also going to ask is, am I allowed to start skating? Am I allowed to start practicing stick handling? And when am I allowed to start playing a little bit? Hockey was the last thing that bothered all of this. Even though stick handling is very fiddly with the upper body. All of my teachers stressed how important it was, actually very much like cello, to have a quiet upper body. And although some of my favorite players are Russians, the people to really watch for this kind of epitome of this style are the Swedes. They have a really, really quiet upper body when they skate and when they stick handle. And then mostly what they do is like all of the action is either here, so it's not like this is doing anything. This just hangs out, and you're actually mostly doing stuff either from your core or from your hands. And so I was able to play hockey longer than I was able to keep up my performance schedule. So I was like, I was turning down all my gigs, but I was still able to play beer league hockey, which was really nice, actually. Even though I'm terrible at hockey, I am genuinely awful at it. The skating I find extremely zen-like and good to concentrate on all the techniques of. And I actually like almost everybody I play with and against. And that's really something as an adult, as you know, right? It's hard to find like your people. And I don't know if all these people are my people, but they're interesting and they're fun to hang out with, and I miss that. Anyway, so those are going to be my main questions. And I've gotten a few emails and a comment or two from people who are going through either the same thing or they're about to. And I would love to talk to you. And if for some reason I haven't responded, it's just because I've been kind of like overwhelmed or mostly just very tired. So right now I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to lie down with the heating pad. Our refrigerator died, which means I have no cold packs. Because right now nothing would feel better than like an ice cold pack right here. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Anyway, but that's where I am right now. And hopefully later on this week, though, I'd really like to demonstrate all the exercises I'm doing. First of all, to catalog them, but also so if you're out there doing these things, a lot of these, by the way, are preventative measures for all kinds of things that get screwed up in your upper body. So I'd like to demonstrate that just to see if it's what your doctor's having you do. And I would love to know if you are going through this, what your physicians and PT people are having you doing too. Anyway, thank you very much. This is significantly shorter than last time, and I will see you, if not in a day or two, next Monday or Tuesday.